Some TV, the pulse of the nation. Some TV, the pulse of the nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, queens and kings of purpose, welcome to the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival 2025, where nearly 100 powerful minds, dreamers, doers, and defenders of humanity will be gathered at Taraba 2025. And I say to them, welcome to the spark before the wildfire and to the heartbeat of a legacy. Prince Homsuk Alex Jibrin is my name. I am the greatest grandson to the 23rd Longwo, third son to the Kanai of the Ko Chiefdom, and a true prince to the House of Mamen. At Tarif, we will not only be telling stories, but we will be reviving the very soul of the people through film. In September 2025, Taraba will rise again as we invite you to experience, explore, and invest in the greatest epic film ever in the Kumbo Legacy Workshop. And this is where ancient tradition will meet with modern transformation. Because at Tarif, we shall be celebrating the strength, wisdom, and heritage of the greatest empire that has ever existed in West African history. And tomorrow, we shall immortalize.
Hey guys, and welcome to another wonderful edition of your number one favorite TV show, What's Trending. You know how we do it every day. We bring you all the latest stories that are trending across various social media platforms. And come on, today we have a lot of stories that are trending. And of course, you know how we also do it. We give you the opportunity to call us and tell us what you think about all these stories that are trending. So we give you an opportunity to also lend your voice to the conversations. This is Some TV. My name is David Bulus, and I'll be your host for this segment. And of course, you can also tune in by calling us on the phone numbers that will be displaying on your screen right away. You can also connect with us through social media when you message us at Some TV Live on YouTube, that is streaming. And you can also message us at Some TV on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us. I am not alone in the studio. I'm going to be introducing my guests right away. So when you stay tuned, you are going to meet my guest who is going to help me to do justice to all the issues that are trending. And like I tell you, we have a lot of interesting stories just for your listening and your viewing pleasure. So why not stay back and enjoy all the beautiful packages that we have for you this evening. Now, right away, I want you to meet my guest. And my guest is none other than Mr. Emmanuel Buje. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Emmanuel.
Thank you for having me here in the studio with you once again.
It's such a pleasure for you to be here with us. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
And we have a lot of issues that are trending on social media. But without further ado, let me introduce the first topic so that we can dive in right away. And it says, Nkechi Blessing responds to the viral photo of her from the gym. You know, so Nkechi Blessing has expressed outrage over a leaked photo of her at the gym, calling it body shaming and a violation of her privacy. Now, she took to social media saying, I wanted to react, then I read comment. And I noticed that you cannot disgrace a woman's clothes with so much grace. And you have to, and for the person who took the picture, I leave you in the hands of God. God will judge you accordingly. And that is coming from Nkechi Blessing. Now, looking at the pictures now, it sends a very sharp message across. Reality versus social media. Because even that same day before the picture, went viral, Nkechi Blessing posted some pictures of herself at the gym on Instagram. And those pictures were banging, her flat tummy, curves and everything were on point. Only for these pictures to now surface online and it shows, the stomach and everything. So what do you have to say? Because this is almost looking like reality versus social media.
Okay, let me first comment on what she said at the end of that text she posted.
Yes, she said God will judge you accordingly.
Thank you. Now, who is God going to judge? Is it the person who is lying or the person who is saying the truth?
Is it really saying I don't know, but she feels this is an invasion of her privacy because she said this is a body shaming and a violation of her privacy. So she's actually saying God will judge the person that posted the picture without her
consent.
Yes.
Well, I think first of all, she should know that God will judge her too, because I feel she's misleading those on social media, showing them all that hot body. Well, in reality, it is actually something else.
But come to think of it, is it really misleading or packaging? Because I understand, Gen Z language is packaging. She's packaging. Do you see this as packaging or fake life?
The thing is that nowadays people find some fancy words for things that we actually know what it is. All this packaging, fake lifestyle, they're all the same thing. That means in reality, that is not what it is. That means you're faking it. And faking it means you're displaying what is not actually there. Displaying what is not actually there actually means you're misleading those who you're displaying that to. So that is just what is there. She's displaying what is not there, showing them all the hot body, while in reality, it is something different. But then, what the guy did is not actually supposed. Yeah, it is not right to take a picture of someone without his consent and post that person on social media, because of that now she's been dragged.
Of course, she's been dragged, and that leads me to where I want to talk about Very Dark Man, who came out to largely criticize her, especially because of the beef they had. And, after some time, Very Dark Man came out to say, okay, somebody he respects so much has told him to take down the video he made, body shaming her, calling her an elephant and what have you. Now, I want you to quickly comment. Where is the place of people in this? Do you think faking it until I make it is something that is quite achievable? Is it something genuine? Can we actually go by that standard? Okay, I don't have flat tummy, but I'm faking it until I make it because I know I cannot risk to expose my big tummy. So I have to just work on getting a flat tummy. Do you think it's really a principle that works, or this is just fake life at play? Because sometimes if I've seen people now coming out to say, okay, if I'm not rich and I'm faking it, I just have no choice than to make sure I make it so that it will be real, because eventually I may be exposed. So if I'm borrowing an iPhone 17 to go out, I need to work towards getting my own eventually. And some people feel like, look, this is a motivation for me to get my own. What do you think?
Now, it depends on how you look at it. And it depends on how you want to flow with the faking it till you make it. Some people in the process of faking it, they tend to lie to themselves as if they've already made it. So as you're faking it, you should know that you've not made it yet. You should have it in mind that you have not made it yet. As you're faking it, you're trying to make it. But then, at some point, you can lie to the public, you can lie to people and lie to yourself to the point that you start believing that these lies are actually true. So if you're going to fake it, you'll make it. You shouldn't forget that you've not made it yet. And then whatever will come with it at that point of faking it, because you might get exposed. So you should be ready to swallow it. Whatever you put in your mouth to chew, you should be ready to swallow it.
Of course. And, just to round up this segment, I've also seen a lot of people. Yeah, let me quickly say that Very Dark Man actually promised whosoever took the picture a reward of 500,000 naira for bringing her to limelight because of the beef they had. But, I saw a lot of people saying, if say you no get sense, in quote, come out and say you are the one and see if she will not sue you to court and, stuff like that. So, the legal implications now then means that somebody can actually be held liable, for this invasion of privacy. What do you think?
Yeah, so I earlier stated that it's actually wrong to take a picture of anybody, and post it online without his or her consent. And then even that being done, body shaming is something that shouldn't be acceptable in the society.
Of course.
And body shaming actually means there should be, if you have a long neck, and I said you have a long neck, I don't think that is body shaming.
Yes.
Because I'm actually telling you what you have. But then saying your neck is like that of a giraffe, you have a giraffe neck or something, then that should be body
especially
shaming.
when VDM was talking about being an elephant.
Yes.
Anyways, we will have to switch it up right now, but not without looking at some comments that we found on social media. And at Nigerian guy NG says, Omo, believe whatever you see on social media at your own peril. Another user, Obina01 says, this is actually very wrong, and the person who posted this picture can actually face legal implications for this. And lastly, this is coming from Nkechi Blessing herself, where she says, Nkechi is trying to stay healthy and fit in the gym is a topic. Lamore, with my big belly with pride, una go dey all right for real when I pepper una with hot pictures. Anyways, it looks like Blessing is not backing down anytime soon. And after making this statement, where she said when I go dey all right for real when I pepper una with hot pictures, just yesterday she posted pictures of herself. She said she captioned it receipt day with a lot of expensive items, and she was like, my stomach is big, but their pocket is slim. This is obviously getting back at critics. Yeah. Anyways, we leave that and move ahead to our story where embattled Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has finally been granted access to the National Assembly. Now, this is coming after 6 months of suspension and back and forth with the court. A video trending on social media has revealed a protocol officer at the National Assembly unsealing her office. Shortly after, Senator Natasha was seen in a video criticizing the Senate House of Assembly, particularly the Senate President, over what she termed as injustice. Please, let's have a look at this.
In everything, it just shows that sometimes it's good to put the institutions to test. We can't cow down in the face of injustice. No one is more Nigerian than us. Senator Akpabio is not more of a senator than I am. He's not a governor of this place. And he treated me as if I was his servant or I was a domestic staff in his house. It's very unfortunate that at this time, after so many years of democracy, we would have a National Assembly be run by such dictatorship. In everything, it just shows that sometimes it's good to put the institutions to test. We can't cow down in the face of injustice. No one is more Nigerian than us. Senator Akpabio is not more of a senator than I am. He's not a governor of this place. And he treated me as if I was his servant or I was a domestic staff in his house. It's very unfortunate that at this time, after so many years of democracy, we would have a National Assembly be run by such dictatorship. It's totally unacceptable. In everything, it just shows that sometimes it's good to put the institutions to test. We can't.
All right, thank you so much. Now you've seen that, and it looks like this back and forth is finally coming to an end, but not without some extra drama, because I did not expect this video from Senator Natasha. In fact, I didn't see this coming. But now let's go down memory lane a little bit to when she was suspended, the back and forth, even with the governor of our state, Governor Usman Ododo. You remember during the Salah holiday, where the Salah celebration, where there was, you know, a rule that she can't, no cars can come in. She had to use a chopper to go to her constituency. We saw the way her constituents, you know, accepted her, and the whole back and forth, the judgment from the court without a CTC and everything. Now, finally, the Senate has unsealed her office, and it is now open to her. And this video she made is actually from her office. But what do you make of all these things? What implication does it have on our democracy and even our judiciary?
Well, one thing that is for sure is that what we've tend to understand so far with our democracy and those people who put in power is that many a times people like to abuse the power that is handed to them. And I don't know why, but somehow those in power like to oppress those that don't have the power and authority that they do have. And that is something that is actually drawing us back, especially in this country. Because our leaders, they like showing that there is a difference between where they are and where we are. But and then that is actually the opposite of what democracy is all about. What actually brought about democracy is to bring that closure, that closeness between the people and their leaders. Because if you look at when it was during, what do you call it, kingship, the crown, the throne, when it was all about kings and queens.
Yes.
You know, there is a huge gap between those people sitting at the throne and then the masses. Yes. But democracy is something that was developed in order to bring those in power close to those who are being led. But then still in this 21st century that we are in, we still see those in power oppressing those that don't have as much power as they do have. And that is what is actually going on in the case of Senator Natasha.
But sorry to, chip in at this point. A lot of times, the Senate president has clarified that the suspension of Senator Natasha is not based on the sexual harassment allegation that she has made. But he said as a result of the breach of protocols in the Senate House. Now recall that the immediate cause of this whole thing was when they asked her to change her seat, and, she said she would not change her seat. Before you know, it became a rumble in the House of Assembly, and before you know it, the following day, she was asked to, be summoned to be summoned by the House Committee on Ethics and what have you. Before you know, she was on air, Arise TV, making these allegations. Now, where do you place our... But I want us to kind of deviate a little and talk about our judiciary. Now, looking at the fact that a court of competent jurisdiction has said that this suspension is illegal. Now, but did not release a certified true copy of that judgment. And Senator Natasha, alongside some activists like Aisha Yesufu and other people, went to the National Assembly, but of course, they were denied entrance. So what do you think about our constitution? And this is happening even for the umpteenth time. You see a court saying this thing is illegal, but it's, for example, several courts have said the suspension of Governor Similayo Fubara is illegal, but we saw that nothing was done. Place. He had to spend that 6 months. The same thing with Senator Natasha. A court had said it is illegal. So what do you make of it? Is this disobedience to court order, or there's no clear court description as to what we want? There's no clear definition of this whole thing we are doing, because at a point people feel like there's no clear court explanation or to hide these things. Why is the court saying this, and why are people behaving in this manner? Can I have your thoughts on
So
this?
I still think this falls back to what I said earlier, abuse of power. Because they feel they have that power to tell those in charge of security, don't allow this person into this place. So they tend to use that power to stop whatever the court has ordered. And then the court has to do more, because the court cannot disagree with something and then nothing is being done about it. The court should be given more power in such a way that once something is declared in the court, nothing should stand in the way of that declaration. But we don't see that happening in this country, which is very, very bad. The court will make one declaration, but then just in her case, that she has to present the certificate.
Yes.
And I don't even know why that certificate was not given to her in the first place, to go and show that this is what the court has said, and she should be allowed back into her office.
And as we round up on this topic, I want to say that it is becoming something of a habit for our courts to make judgment without presenting the certified, true CTC of the certified true copy of the judgment. Because that is the legal document that the National Assembly are supposed to work with.
Of course.
So if you have said that, okay, she is supposed to resume office. It happened in Kano, where the judge said the incumbent governor then is not supposed to be, and he declared the candidate of the APC, but did not present the CTC copy of the judgment. And by the time the CTC is out, the CTC shows that the incumbent governor is still the governor, and INEC, who issues certificate of return, will not work with what people heard in open court, or will work with the documents they got from the court.
Exactly.
So it looks like there is a lot of work to be done from the court itself. They need to start doing things the right
accordingly.
way. And then our leaders now have to learn to respect the rule of law by obeying court order,
Exactly.
So I feel like you've done justice to this topic. We are going to look at few comments on social media when we come back from this very short break. I don't want you to go away. Please stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, queens and kings of purpose, welcome to the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival 2025, where nearly 100 powerful minds, dreamers, doers, and defenders of humanity will be gathered at Taraba 2025. And I say to them, welcome to the spark before the wildfire and to the heartbeat of a legacy. Prince Homsuk Alex Jibrin is my name. I am the greatest grandson to the 23rd Longwo, third son to the Kanai of the Ko chiefdom, and a true prince to the house of Mamen. At Tarif, we will not only be telling stories, but we will be reviving the very soul of the people through film. In September 2025, Taraba will rise again as we invite you to experience, explore, and invest in the greatest epic film ever in the Kumbo Legacy Workshop. And this is where ancient tradition will meet with modern transformation. Because at Tarif, we shall be celebrating the strength, wisdom, and heritage of the greatest empire that has ever existed in West African history. And tomorrow, we shall immortalize it in art, film, and in fire. So storytellers, stand tall. The legacy is calling. Will you answer? Welcome to Tarif 2025. Let the revolution begin.
Thank you so much for staying with us. It's still your favorite TV channel, Some TV, the pulse of the nation. And you know it already. We are looking at a very important topic with my guest, Mr. Emmanuel Buje. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel, for staying with us. You know, before we went on break, we were talking about, you know, disobedience for the rule of law, lack of obedience to court orders, and, you know, a lot of things that is bordering on our democracy. But we want to take some comments now from social media and have your final take on this topic. This comment says, okay, this person says, Omo, this issue go long. Go. Anyways, thank God she has finally been allowed to gain access to her office, hoping that she's going to give her constituents the best. Another comment says, are they accepting her back even without a court judgment? Niger, which way now? You can now see that we have diverse opinions. So people are saying, okay, are you no longer, because I remember when her, you know, her suspension elapsed, a lot of people were happy that she's going to resume, and the Senate put out a notification saying until the court gives us a conclusion on even her issue, because her issue is no longer with us, it's now with the court. But so, you know, a lot of people now came out calling out the National Assembly saying this is injustice, it is partisan politics, but finally we are here. So what are your final take on this?
Well, first of all, if any case goes to the court, that means the final say we have to come from the court. And then anything the court declares, that is what action should be taken upon. But we've seen that that didn't happen in the case of Natasha when she came back after the court case, because they said that she didn't provide the CTC. Yes. And then, which I still don't understand why that certificate will not be given, because it makes whatever that was done in the court irrelevant.
Since it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, yes. Whatever was done in the court wasn't useful at all if action cannot be taken on that court order. So just as we stated before going for the break, the court needs to do more, and then the government needs to give more power to the court, so that any court order that is passed, any judgment that is passed, should be acted upon, no matter what. So that is what I have to say.
Okay, thank you so much. And just to round things up on this topic, you notice from the video Senator Natasha made, she said it's good to put an institution to the test. And she's now, because she's insinuating that the National Assembly has been put to a test. This is more like a litmus test. And obviously it has failed the test because we do not have obedience for rule of law there. You know, if the court had said this, then they should obey. But looking ahead now, we'll also fault the court for not presenting the CTC of the judgment they made. And it is becoming something of a habit. It is a best, on my knowledge, now to my best of knowledge, it has happened on 3 different occasions. That's the one I know. Yes. So we feel that, I think that our court can do better and ensure that they give the right judgment and obey protocols and procedure. Now we move ahead to our next story, where a video which is now making rounds on social media has shown a pastor in a church, you know, praying for a woman and cajoling her daughter to send him $1,000. If not, he's going to pray that she should be deported back to Nigeria. Now, in the video, which has gained several reactions, the pastor was heard saying that he had prayed for the daughter to get a visa and travel abroad. Now, the pastor also alleged that after traveling abroad, the lady neglected him and has now bought a land, which is causing a lot of dispute. When her mother came to the church to seek for prayers. A lot of reactions, of course, have trailed that video, with a lot of people saying that the woman is an opportunist who only runs to the church when she's in trouble. While others are alleging that the pastor was being unreasonable for asking the daughter to send $1,000 before he would pray for them. Please, I want you to have a look at this video and tell me what you think about it.
Imagine someone that we are paying 800,000.
In the bank, yes, sir.
800,000.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the day I told her you will get a visa, you will travel. You know,
yes,
you believe.
So true, sir.
Visa came from 2 years now, she has
Yes, sir.
started buying properties.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Tell her that I says if she need a massive restoration before the end of this month, let her make sure she give me $1,000.
Yes, sir. She's watching you now.
She's watching me now.
Yes, sir. She's
Okay, if you're
online.
watching me now, call your mother now. Let me tell you now. You have phone, eh? Go bring mother. This is money. Let's restore. It's calling. Okay.
Hi, hello, Daddy. How is
I want to deport you the way I send you there.
Papa. Please.
I'm in my altar, and anything I say here is sure. Shush.
I know, sir.
All right, the Lord revealed to me that there is a land issue.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you call your spiritual father?
I was trying to send you message since last week, but I keep on forgetting.
Now, the task is talk say the Lord, not be me, for this case to end and for you not to fall under victim.
Yes, sir.
$1,000 should enter my hand before the ending of this month.
Okay, sir.
If you don't enter, you know your documents is very close now, eh? Your documents just have.
Yes, sir.
Why are you laughing? I'm a prophet, I'm seeing. So
I know.
your documents
You're the
is
one that
very
gave
close
me
now
visa.
for them to approve everything. So you can talk
Yes,
to
sir.
citizens.
Thank you,
Just
sir.
a small thing, hold on. Well, that small thing, hold on, they inside my pocket. As soon as I put the
I
$1,000,
know.
then I'll bring out the thing. I
Amen.
forget for my pocket.
Amen.
Today is what?
Sunday.
Okay, I'm giving you and your mother 7 days from now to Sunday. If I don't go find that $1,000, the way I take you there, I will deport you. The oracle
Please, sir. Please.
has spoken.
You guys, I was perplexed when I saw that video, and of course I ran to the comment section to see what people are saying, and of course the comment section is wild. But we'll go back to the comment section later because I still have Mr. Emmanuel Boucher here with me. So, Mr. Emmanuel, having seen that video, let me not make any comments until then we allow you to say all what you need to say about this video.
A lot of things are actually going on in this crazy world of ours. First of all, I know there are people who actually blame the pastor and say he's not supposed to do this. And then there are people who will say the lady is actually supposed to at least shake body, show small love too to the pastor, since pastor don't pray for you.
Exactly, because a lot of people on social media surprisingly are calling out the mother of the lady, because I was thinking it's just the pastor that will be dragged. But on getting to the comment section, I discovered that a lot of them are also dragging the woman, saying, okay, are you telling us that since this pastor prayed for you and you people got visa, you mean you've not really done anything for the pastor? And
Yes,
it's when
you
your
see-
daughter bought a land and it is generating a lot of issues and you are now coming back to the pastor.
Yeah, you see, they're actually right, because it shouldn't be that it's when you have problem that you run to your pastor. And after you get solution, oh, God has answered your prayer, then you forget your pastor. That is absolutely very wrong. So definitely, those people who think in that direction will actually drag the woman and her daughter. Because by just mere looking at it, that is not right at all. If somebody prays for you and then your prayers were answered, you should remember that person. You shouldn't forget such person. But then also
Now
in
let's
the case
come back
of
to the
pastor
pastor now.
Yes,
Who is saying if $1,000 does not land in his account before the end of the month, he's going to pray for a deportation. Let's talk about it.
yeah, so that was what I wanted diving into right away. You see, in the case of the pastor now, already people are talking about pastorship, being a prophet, church in general, that it is just there for business, that all those people claiming to be men of God are there for business, to get money out of their members. And for you to come out and then do such acts, you're actually proving to these people that you're here for business. So are you saying you cannot pray for somebody to progress even if he doesn't do any good for you? And then you still say you will pray for the person's downfall. You will pray for a deportation. That
Okay,
means
let me hold you on for a minute and read this comment from Chuku Ebuka, who says, I love this with the whole of my heart. If you are a pastor and your prayer is working, charge for it, because that is what native doctors do. People are ungrateful and they take the pastors for granted, especially when they get what they want. If the native doctor work for that girl, she go first settle and before investing. Where pastor work, na then go chop. Now this is one of the comments I saw on social media, and I was taken aback, and I was like, what? You
Wow.
know? So what do you think? Do you think, because looking at it from a biblical perspective, is it really where pastor work na him go chop? And like,
Yes, now that is one thing to
contextualize everything for
exactly.
us.
That is one thing to look at. You said native doctor. Native doctor, the way he does his own operation is different.
Exactly.
From the way
I was
it is,
expecting to hear that.
in the Bible.
It's quite,
he might be
different.
Yes.
The native doctor's operation is different, actually.
From that, in fact, somebody can start up a business and say he's here. If in case you want to make progress in life, in case you want something in your life, you should come. You pay so, and then he will make it happen for you. But then he shouldn't come in the name of a Christian, because that is not in a Christian way.
Another person is arguing here on the comment section. He said, I want to understand how the pastor facilitated her going to Yankee, as in, na him buy the visa for her, or just that he prayed and she got the visa. Now, this is another angle, because some people feel like it may not really be the prayers of the pastor. Probably God has destined this, but if you watch the video, it's looking like this woman and her daughter have been bringing this as a prayer request to the pastor, and probably the pastor has been praying because the daughter used to work in a bank, and eventually she got the visa. But like you said earlier, I love your insight, but we want you to give us your final take on this topic.
Well, I don't actually agree with the person who made that comment that the pastor. There are some people that are like that. He's saying his prayer that the pastor prayed.
Yes.
He's not the one that actually bought the visa for her and the rest. So it's just like you providing food for somebody, and then the person will now come and say, you only gave me food, now are you the one that put it inside my mouth?
Yes.
You understand? So as far as he prayed for her, it doesn't really matter if he still has to remove money to buy the visa. The point that he prayed for her and it actually came to pass. And for that, she should show appreciation. And in fact, since this is something that has to do with the church, I believe when you read your Bible, you see that God is encouraging us to always appreciate your man of God.
People that work in the house of the Lord.
People that work in the house of the Lord. You should always appreciate
just to paint
them.
a bigger picture, I even feel like even people that work in the church, not only the pastor or the reverend, in other denominations, we have like the parish boys and everything. Where you see a need for clothes or anything, you can do that. You can help out. You can actually help out.
But then the pastor shouldn't come out like this and be
of
making
course,
such
a lot of
comments
people
that
he was like, if $1,000 does not land in
he
my
will pray
account,
for a deportation.
actually,
so that means all his prayers is that he actually has his own personal interest in it, which is not supposed to be like that.
Exactly. We have some comments here on social media, and I think this comment is from our first story. This comment is from Moses Peter, and he says, it is very wrong to post someone's picture without his or her consent on social media. We should respect people rather than chasing clout to get engagement on social media. Absolutely, I agree to this, because you've also said it earlier that it is very wrong. Another person, Bridget James, says real versus fake. There was a video displaying the real picture and the fake picture. It has been an awesome moment, you guys, on What's Trending on Some TV, the pulse of the nation. And we don't give you anything less than quality, because, of course, the quality of what comes to your TV screens whenever this program is airing. And it is on this note that we bring you to the end of today's edition. Hoping that we had a very engaging time with you, and we hope to see you tomorrow. Don't forget, Some TV, the pulse of the nation. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,